Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and we are getting ready for our weekly art journal challenge. And this week, the verse is Ephesians 2:8. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not of yourselves, it is the gift of God. And the prompts are the color pink, doodle a border, and word of the year. And so hopefully y'all have picked a word for the year. If not, you might want to take a minute or two and pray about it and ask God what your word is for the year. If you don't want to use a word of the year, then you can just pick a word that you like and use that. So that is what we're doing. And my paper, I did not gesso it, so I am gonna just use acrylic paint and create a background. And since pink is a color, I feel like I use pink a lot, but I'm going to use it again. So I'm going to just kind of do what I've done before and play around and smear some paint on. Use my cheap white paint and some water probably, and just kind of smush it around. This is really kind of coral color, but well, maybe I should use pink. It says pink, so let me switch this out with some more. This is more of a cool pink. I'll use that. That'll be different. And got some Diva pink. Ooh, that's kind of a warm pink. Anyway, I'm gonna mix those and see what happens. You know, I was all impressed with the dollar store and their prices on things, but, you know, their paint, they don't have near the selection of paint. And the Dollar Tree store, everything's $1.25. And so when I went to Walmart and realized these are all 54 cents a bottle, I'm like, wow, I need to just stop with the Dollar Tree paint and get the Walmart paint. Woo! It's probably not going to take a whole lot of that. Unless I want it to take a whole lot of that. Oh. Let me put a little bit of this other pink. I feel like three colors just kind of adds a little bit of depth. Even if they're both pink, it'll be a little bit different. And I'm just going to get one hand in it for now. Okay. Ooh, I've been trying to glue two of these pages together because they're so thin, and I didn't do it on that one, so that is some super thin paper. I'm just going to do that and try to peel it back apart. Okay. All right, so now that will seal the paper in case I want to put something else on it. And I'll let that dry, and then we will come back and go from there. Okay, I am back. This is dry, and this is super wrinkled because I've got two pages together, and then all this was going on the other side of it. This is smooth. So what I did is I went through my paper scraps and picked out a bunch of pink ones because I want to make a couple more layers. I have been guilty of getting in too big of a hurry, I think, and not taking my time and maybe doing all that I could do with these pages. And so I thought, why am I doing one layer when I can do 5 layers? So I'm going to go ahead and add some paper scraps, and then I may go over that with some paint and stuff. So I'm going to try to do the whole layering thing. I really like it. I think it looks good in the end for the most part. A lot of my scraps were boring looking, and so I break them up into cool colors, warm colors, and neutrals. And then I dump them on the table and spray them and draw on them and do all kinds of things. Put paint on them, stamp on them, and just kind of make them more interesting. I've got a video of me doing that. I don't know if you've seen it, but It's not hard to do. If your scraps are boring, you can always make them more interesting by doing that. And it's kind of a fun, no-brainer kind of thing to do. You know how, I don't know about you, but there's a lot of days when that just is so fun, like tea dyeing paper or just doing those mindless kind of tasks. I'm back, and this is dry, and I'm going to do a little bit more layering, and I'm going to use, I just got some new pastels, so I'm going to use this hot pink soft pastel, and then I'm going to use the gel matte gel. Mix it to set it. So just gonna kind of randomly add some of this chalk and maybe a little bit of the orangey yellow that I got. And why not? I'll try the green. Boy, that's a lot heavier for some reason. And then I'm going to take, let's see. Those are Diane Townsend Artist Pastels, if anybody cares to know. I wanted to try them because, you know, all these people, I take all these classes and then I end up buying all these art supplies. Does anybody else do that? So I'm just going to kind of smush them around with my fingers first. And then, ooh, the orange doesn't, I thought it would be more dramatic. Maybe it is dramatic. Maybe I'm just, okay, let's just see what the green does when you blend it. Oh, it smears out pretty well. Okay, I'm just going to take some of this, pat over it to kind of set it, and which also kind of blend. You know, we're going to do a border, like a graffiti border or doodling border, and that's going to, hopefully, I wanted it to be the star of the show. Now, I've got so much going on, and it's all kind of equal, so I think I'm now going to go back with some white and sort of knock these back so they're not quite so important. So I'm just going to take, do I want to use gesso? I have gotten in trouble using gesso. I'm just leaving that on my finger while I do this. As you've seen me, I squirt it out and it comes out in this great big gigantic amount that I don't need. So I'm trying to be a little more judicious. So just kind of, ooh, that really took that back. Just putting these back so they just don't show as much. My word for the year for me is encourage. Okay, so I'm trying to decide what to use to put encourage on here. So we've got, trying to decide, do I want to put my graffiti border or my word on first? And I think I'm going to put the word on, and I'm going to use a really intense color that I might regret, but what the heck. Okay, so I'm going to use this quinacridone magenta acrylic from Golden, and it's very, I like it a lot. And so I'm going to use it and see what happens. So let's see. Actually, I'm going to use a pencil just to make sure I get this right. So E-N-C-O-U-R-A-G-E. Okay, so I think I'll use cursive. And okay. All right, that gives me a guide. I didn't want to go completely crazy and so I'm going to put this down, and then I'm going to go back with some white and kind of smush it around, I think. So let's see. All right, there's my word. I think I'm going to try and use some white. I'm putting it on this palette on top of this paint that I just used, this quinacridone magenta color. And just kind of go back over this. Kind of build it up just a little bit. Okay, go back over this a little bit. It's a little stronger over here. Run it both off the page, here and here. Okay. All right, I'm going to let that dry. Okay, this is dry. So I'm going to start on the doodling, and I've got a bunch of examples that I saved from Pinterest of doodles and things on different designs. So I just take screenshots all the time and trying to find just different examples of what other people have done, different doodling patterns and things. And so I'm going to use one of those. I'm not leaving them. I really shouldn't show them at all because I'm sure there's probably some sort of copyright problem, but I just wanted you to sort of get an idea of what I use for an example, because I don't just do it out of my head. I'm looking at somebody else's doodling, and I don't copy it exactly. I usually, it never ends up like theirs, but it at least gives me an idea of where to start. So that's what I do. Okay, I think I'm going to stop with that. Okay, I am back, and I added a couple more leaves and a flower behind that. So now all I have is to do the verse, and I'm going to cut it apart and put it on here. And I'm trying to decide where I want it. If I want it up here or down here. I think it might show better here. And of course, I don't need to tell you, you don't have to be elaborate with your doodling. You can just do marks, you know, mark making, and just some simple things. But it might be fun to try some of the more elaborate ones if you feel up to it. And so I guess you could say, well, what's the connection? I mean, depending on what your word is, I'm sure you can find a connection to this, because we wouldn't be able to do anything if we didn't have God's grace. So it all starts with that. And so, as for instance, my word encouragement, I can't encourage anybody unless I've got God showing me how to do it, so to speak. You know, because he first loved us. Now we can go out and love other people. I don't think I'm not going to bother with the NAS. Okay. All right, so let's see. I can put it here about right. And I am just going to use my glue, our glitter glue from journaling. Okay, so I'm going to take my little black marker that my black watercolor pencil. Stabilo is the brand, the all black pencil. It's water soluble, and so I like how it looks when people sort of frame some of their things in that. You hit it with water and it just kind of softens it, gives it a really nice effect, I think. Okay, all right then. Well, that's it. It's done, and I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're having fun doing yours, and I will see you next week when we do the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.